Great Hobbies presents RCTV, your radio control authority.
Well, welcome back, folks. This is our first episode of this year's second season of RCTV. First, I'd like to thank all the folks out there who supported our show. We are back. On this year's season, we're going to be mixing it up a bit, folks. We'll be showing more planes. We'll be showing more bashing, more crashing, and more excitement. First, we're going to be going to see some pylon racing down in Florida. Also, Paul and Ingo are going to be battling it out at some more TCS racing. And a great yak build is coming up. But first, we're going to be going to Sid's Raceway to see some great electric off-road battling.
I'm Noah Egan, just here at Sid's Raceway. Today it's a trophy race. Perfect day to come.
Now, why aren't you home playing Nintendo instead? Is this better?
This is definitely better. This is obviously the best track, especially with our big monster jump back there.
Well, thank you, Noah. You're the best, buddy. Well, straight from our above helicopter shooting the track, we're here with the owner, Imtiaz, today. Imtiaz, what a beautiful place you have here.
Thank you.
I mean, you have all these gardens. We're at Sid's Ponds, right?
Yes.
What a beautiful place. Whatever compelled you to put a racetrack in the back here?
Just by coincidence, we met Sean Hurley last year. He was playing in a parking lot and he came over. He was planning to build a track in his backyard and we discussed opening it. He spoke to us on a Wednesday and by Sunday we had people racing.
Wow.
Step by step, we went through building the stand, putting the track in with a group of great people that are all involved, and he reciprocates by letting me advertise, so it's really great.
Sean, I've been in a lot of nitro races. Why is electric going on out here?
Well, first of all, I was into electric, so that was a big thing, because I really kind of spearheaded it at the very beginning. And also, as you can see, there's lots of residences, and I just imagined, like, nitro, the sound. And it's a different thing, you know, the track's not necessarily as big, and I think electric is coming back because of the fact that it's not as noisy, and it's just a little bit of a different vibe.
Okay, I'm here today with Martin Pillmajor. Martin, tell me the difference of all the different classes today.
Well, we have 3 classes running today. We have a stadium truck, a 2-wheel drive, and a 4-wheel drive class. The stadium trucks are a little more stable. They have bigger tires. They take the ruts a little bit better. The buggies have smaller tires. A little more experience needed to set these things up. The fastest by far is the 4-wheel drive buggy because all 4 wheels are driving. The second fastest would be the 2-wheel drive. And then the stadium trucks are a little bit slower.
Why are other buggies faster?
They're more of a race-prepped vehicle. They tend to be a little higher performance with the motor, the suspension. The stadium truck class is more of the fun racer.
So basically, you're probably better off as a beginner to start with something like the stadium
Absolutely.
truck. Now, is there anybody at the local tracks here, like at Sid's Raceway, that can help you out if you are a beginner?
Absolutely. The good thing about Sid's, it's a very friendly atmosphere. There's a good committee that helps all newbies. We try to make sure that, you know, if we see someone that has a lot of trouble, we'll get out and help them with setup and give them some tips on how to get around the track a bit faster.
All it is about is fun. No trophies, no victory, just fun. Hang out with other racers, just to race your good race.
It's time now for the Big Boys Tip of the Week.
Hi, I'm Alex Morgan. Today we're going to talk to you about engine care. Now, your engine, whether it's a monster truck or a car, a surface vehicle or an airplane, temperature gun is key to the survival of any engine. A temperature gauge will be able to tell you whether your engine is rich or lean and prevent engine damage. And that's your Big Boys Tip of the Week.
Okay, we're here today with Sam Filippelli. Sam, I'm looking at this sheet of paper here. You're building a fantastic model. First of all, what type of model are you building here?
This is a Yak 54. It's a competition type airplane that's designed for scale aerobatics.
Now, looking at it right here, is this an actual scale drawing of the plane?
Yes, this would be the full scale of the actual airplane.
It's actually a bit longer down
It's
there.
a bit, yes.
Yeah. Now, looking at it, like we have, I brought the pieces of balsa wood out here just to show the fans at home. If you look, folks, they actually fit right on the same diameter. So if this is a 1/4 inch or whatever the size is here, it'll actually fit right on it. Now, when you're building this, you have to really build a lot of parts. Like, I'm sure some of the parts come in the kit, but are a lot of the parts you have to cut out and modify and build yourself?
My big goal with this airplane was to try to make it as competitive as possible, so I went through all the efforts to lighten it out without hurting its structural integrity. I mean, you can go so far, and eventually it's going to get to a point where things are going to start to break. I guess the key is to try to go as far as you can without pushing the line.
How does the foam and balsa mix together here to create this plane?
We get some 1/16 balsa wood, and we glue it together.
So that's like a piece right here.
Right. We glue it together, make a skin out of balsa wood. We take the foam and we sheet it with epoxy resin and put some weight on it, and it's easy to construct and it's light.
Okay, Sam, now that we've seen the basic schematics of the plane and what type of building materials are used to build this plane, let's take a look at the actual plane and how far you've gotten along here.
Okay.
Were there any major hurdles or difficulties that you had building this plane?
One of the problems with the airplane was the throttle, was to get it to line up with where the servo location is. Because the throttle is on this particular motor is very low, and there's a canister set up. I wanted to kind of line up the throttle so that it would go through the fuselage. So what I had to manufacture was a little bell crank out of some aluminum, a couple of ball links, and as you can see, it now lines up with the throttle.
So that's a custom-made piece there.
Yes.
Okay, Sam, looking from the motor all the way back to the fuselage, show me where you did all the lightening of the parts and why.
If you look at the motor box here, it's made out of 1/8 aircraft ply, and if it's all one piece, it's going to be quite heavy. So what I did is I cut out holes in places where it wouldn't affect the structural integrity to keep it as light as possible. I put in some gussets in as well, and those type of things really help with the rigidity of the airplane.
Now, Sam, how are these wings constructed? Can you pull one wing off here? Is it quite easy to do?
Yeah, it's very easy to do. You just slide it off the wing tube, and this is basically was a big foam piece of a wing.
And then you covered it with that 1/16.
Right, and it was sheeted with the 1/16, and then once it's sheeted, I cut off all the ailerons out and everything, and I cap it, and I put the leading edge and trailing edge on, and lo and behold, you have a wing.
Wow. Okay, Sam, go through all the stages of painting so people out there can see what it's like to get this finished product like on the wings here.
Because this is made out of wood, we just can't paint wood. So the first thing we do is we put some fiberglass on there. Once the fiberglass is on and dried, we sand it down a bit, and then our next stage is to put a little Bondo just to fill in the cracks and fill in the little imperfections so we can get it nice and smooth. The next stage, once we get the Bondo nice and smooth, is we get out the primer. And we prime up the entire canopy area. Sand it down again, and because I'm using an automotive system, what it is a base coat, clear coat, so the first thing that goes on is a base coat. If there's any masking or any designs, we do that obviously prior to spraying, but we spray on the base coat, final thing is clear coat, and away we go.
Are there any other modifications that you made to this plane to make it lighter and stronger that you created, actually?
One of the unique features that we did here is, if you look at the landing gear, it's all been machined out. The reasons why, again, is to save weight. We felt that it would still maintain its rigidity by taking a chunk of aluminum out, and it really reduced the weight.
Well, Sam, hopefully we're going to see this plane up in the air very shortly in future episodes of RCTV. Thank you very much today for showing us some of the insides and outs, and I can't wait to see that maiden flight. So, Sam, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care. Bump them out of the way. That's it. Bump them out of the way to go, Chris. I'm a pro. Boxer. We are here today in Toronto, the hub of Canada. Today we're at John's Hobbies Race. This is his 10th annual race. You'll be seeing electric on-road car and some nitro cars. And here we go with the action. Yeah, that's it. Let all the garbage go by you. Oh, they're all safe? Yeah, try to avoid the jump there. This is Chris Holmes, by the way. Came all the way up from Barrie to Toronto to race.
So the best thing about RC racing is bringing an old buddy out that used to race RC, and I haven't seen him in a while, and he's coming out and he's trying my Mini out this year. He bought himself a rally car, but we haven't been able to get it running yet. So we're gonna see how he does today. And I don't know about Nick's coaching. He said he's gonna try to help him out.
I'm gonna coach him this year. With my coaching, you guys remember what happened last year when I spanked Ingo in Mini. So
that was my car you used, and how many times did you crash it and flip it too?
Yeah, but I won, didn't I?
Yeah, by fluke, you cheated.
I cheated, see?
Cheater.
He always says I cheat. And that was the actual car. He's using the winning car. Well, I know one thing. This is gonna be quite the battle between Chris and Ingo today.
Yeah, we'll see how we do today. Well, if Chris beats me, I'm gonna eat my shorts.
Okay, what we got to do, right? Ingo tends to go into the corners too fast, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is take it a bit slower in the corners, right? Because you got to roast them, man. You got to beat the Ingo. That's the whole thing. I know, it's great. Little car. It is a great car.
This race underway. It's number 8, round 1 for the Mini. Third group of qualifying cars.
That's it, Chris. Keep it up. Ingo's in first already. Here comes Chris, the 0 car. Keep steady, man. Oh, Ingo pulls that move. Here he goes. Got a guy chasing for second. Oh, look at him, neck and neck. Oh, he loses his spot. Chris is in fourth right now. Ingo's in second. Oh, Ingo gets wide there a bit. Way to go, Chris. Come on, buddy. Keep it up. Oh, you're going to catch him, buddy. Just slow and steady. That's it. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Oh, look at Chris takes him. Chris just took him. Look at that guy. Way to go, Chris. Keep it up, buddy. Ingo dropped back to third now. Chris is in first. Chris is in first. That's it, Chris. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. You're doing well. Get that little Mini out of the way. Get him out of the way, bud. Bump him out of the way. That's it. Bump him out of the way. Way to go, Chris. Way to bump him out of the way. Oh, look at Ingo here. We're back to back. Here they go. You think we're going to get him? Let's see. Chris and Ingo are battling out now. That's it. Chris has got a bit of a straightaway lead on him there. Oh, he goes wide. No, Ingo misses him. Come on, Chris, keep it up, slow and steady, bud. You're doing great, you're doing great. We see what I say, 18 laps this time. What did you get last time?
17.
Ingo, what did you get last time?
I got 15, and this time I got 17.
And what did you get?
2 better this time.
And you got in 5th place, I think, this time.
Was it 5th?
I think it was 5th. I think it was 5th.
I improved, I know
well,
that.
We know Chris lapped you right at the transponder line.
You know what, I'm never going to let anybody use my cars again. Yeah, I'm a better mechanic than driver.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome race.
Turned out really good.
It's time now for the RCTV Tech Tip of the Week.
On today's tip, what we'd like to do is tell you how to properly mount a servo. What happens is everybody gets started in the hobby, don't realize the correct way to use the eyelets on the grommets. The rubber grommets are there to provide insulation from the vibration in the aircraft, and the eyelets are there to space the screw that mounts through the grommet and give it the correct tension. On this side of the servo, they're mounted incorrectly. You'll see that the head of the eyelet is sticking on top of the grommet. The correct way is to have the grommet eyelet mounted from the bottom. That way it doesn't get pushed down through the wood when you go ahead and tighten your screw. With the eyelet installed correctly, our screw was stopped by the height of the eyelet, which would set the correct tension on the grommet. Here, installed correctly, there was nothing to stop the screw from penetrating down farther, which would put too much tension on the grommet. When you mount the screw in and mount the servo, it'll be nicely isolated from the vibration, and that's your RCTV tip of the week.
Ready, turn! As you can see, it's almost virtually impossible to follow these planes at this speed. I think the pilots must get dizzy.
Now, what does the race course entail?
Well, the race course is 3 pylons. You're able to see the 2 pylons, they're 100 feet apart. And then there's a 3rd pylon that's 605 feet downrange, about 2 football fields. They race the planes a maximum of 4 at a time. They take off on a staggered start from the ground at the drop of a flag. So 1 and 3 will take off first, and 2 and 4 will take off second by a push, by what they call a caller. And they will fly down to the pylon 1, and the caller will tell the pilot that he has to turn based upon a light that flashes down. Those that are better at calling will end up winning the race.
Ready, turn, good light.
Okay, I'm here with Mike Stewart, a fairly new competitor in this sport, and he's going to tell me about what it's like to get into the sport, if it's hard to get into the sport, and what he thinks he needs to learn to compete.
To do this, you need to start off in the beginner type racing, which is a much slower airplane. Practice with that. I tried it out about 4 years ago. I did it for a season. And after having some children and everything, I gave it up for a while because it's very demanding. But we're back, going to give it a shot again, see if we can't get the bugs worked out.
We're walking out here with Ray Brown up to the field to the start. Something new for me. We both got hard hats on, so.
Hard hats for the safety.
Now, accidents don't happen too often now. I'm a little nervous.
No, it's generally a safe event. We fly standing inside the poles, which means we fly around ourselves. And usually if there's an incident, the planes or debris will go out away from the airfield, or out away from where the pilots and callers stand.
Now, if they accidentally crashed, do they assess whose fault it is? Or?
No.
It's just like, too bad.
When you sign on the dotted line, if you're gonna cry, don't play.
Well, we've reached the starting location here. The other drivers are here with their callers. Now, Ray, who's your caller?
This is Dennis O'Brien.
Dennis O'Brien.
Yeah, he'll be holding the airplane. All started, adjust the needle, he'll hold it, and when the caller, or when the starter throws the flag, Dennis throws the airplane. That's turn number 1, way down there. Turn number 3 over here, and turn number 2 out there in the middle of the field.
Okay guys, turn your radios on, make sure something wiggles. You're on the clock.
You ready?
Second flag.
Well, this one here is a Big Bruce Polecat. It's made out of a composite material. I get it in kit form. I have to assemble it. I have to paint it. I choose the colors. It's powered by a Nelson 40 Henry Nelson motor. And these airplanes have to come in no lighter than 4 pounds. If it is lighter, you will be disqualified.
One, two, ready, turn, good light. 1, 2, ready, turn, good light.
We fly 10 lap heat races. And the average speed or the average time for 10 laps from a standing stop is between 1 minute and 1 minute 4 seconds. So what that equates to is 10 laps, 2.5 miles in right about a minute. This is Randy Bridge, by the way. Randy Bridge is 6-time U.S. national champion. And that's 6 times in a row, which has never been done before.
So we fly 2 classes here in the States. We fly Quickie 500 and Quarter Midget, and I've won the Quickie 500 class 5 times out of the last 7 years. And I won the Quarter Midget class just once. The accumulation of points of both those classes at the U.S. Nationals is what's allowed me to win 6 of the overall championships in a row.
Hey, my dad is the bull. What is dummy?
Well, there's one thing you know, somebody's going to crash at every race, and unfortunately today, it was me. I need more practice, obviously.
Well, that's it for our first episode. On next week's episode, we're going to be heading out to Hamilton for a fantastic air show. Also, you'll see some great 1/5 on-road nitro. But first, you'll be seeing some great boat action all the way up in Bob Cages.
Closed captioning for RCTV is brought to you by GreatHobbies.com. RCTV is brought to you in part by Great Hobbies. Great service, great selection, great prices.